Hi everyone, my name is Sarah and I'm the Executive Director of QThon at Quinnipiac University.
And my name's Alex, and I'm the Director of Operations at QThon.
So today we're going to be presenting a little bit on our Team Captains program and first just our onboarding process for our team captains. Following that, our ongoing education process, and then we're going to go into our Miracle Point program and the clear communication that we use to engage our team captains throughout the year. So first, just a little background on our team captains. So this year we had 45 teams register for QThon, which we were really excited about coming from a smaller university. We had a 5% increase year over year in registrations, as well as a 32% increase in participant activation. And this was one of our main goals to increase our participant activation this year. We overall were able to grow in so many different areas, which we were really excited about. And we had our campus relations co-chairs on our management team, which were the relation from our management team to our team captains. And this was really helpful. It gave our team captains a direct link to our management team, and they always had someone to ask if they had any questions. Our campus relations co-chairs are also overseen by our director of membership, so she was able to help answer any other questions that our campus relations chairs couldn't. And they were all there at every team captains meeting, so it really created a direct line of communication there. So, structured onboarding, this is just a little timeline of how we onboarded our team captains. Starting in the summer, we had our campus relations co chairs make a spreadsheet with every single organization on campus and also all of their contact information so that we could streamline the best way to contact and get every organization we could involved. In late August, we reached out to every org on campus using that spreadsheet and all of the information. And this included a Google form where each org could submit their team captain, their contact information, and what org they're a part of. Every couple of weeks following that, our campus relations chairs sent out reminder emails to make sure that orgs were seeing that information, and if they had any questions, we set up meetings with them to answer those questions. For some of our newer organizations, the meetings were helpful in order to really educate them on QThon and what their involvement would have to look like throughout the year. The first week of October was our deadline for submitting the team captain forms, and this was timed just so that we could make sure that our team captains could be involved in our first internal team push day. The week after the deadline, we had a meeting to onboard them, to inform them more about Connecticut Children's, CMN, QThon, what our mission was, and also get them registered for donor drive. This prepared them again for that first internal team push day, and having them involved as well as the committees and our management team was really helpful to making sure that this day was successful. So we had a 143.9% fundraising increase from the previous year, and we raised over $16,000 in that one day.
So another main factor we believe contributed to our success with our team captain program this past year was our ongoing education. So something new that we tried this year were Y workshops. These were modeled off of Huskython. And with the Y workshops, we went directly to organizations' meetings. We also held two open sessions during the semester. So with the organization, going to the organization's meetings, we worked with the team captain and their president to find a time that worked best. And we sent in two of our management members and they went over, we had a presentation prepared where we talked about a bunch of different things, such as QThon and Connecticut Children's, just information about them. We also highlighted miracle stories to help members form their own connections. We also talked a lot about what a why was. So we discussed like our whys, what their whys could be, how to use your why as a part of QThon. And we also highlighted a lot of motivating statistics, such as what where our fundraising goes to, the people it helps, why it's needed, different things like that to help them also find their whys and continue to stay involved in our organization. And by having these why workshops, we were able to take a lot of the pressure off the team captains as they were no longer expected to provide all of the information to their team captains. So they weren't telling their team why they need to be involved and why it's important. We were kind of taking over that role for them and allowing them to just rely on having their team go to events and relaying information to them about push days and different things like that. So, as another part of this, we had a lot of cause connection opportunities throughout the year where participants could still learn a lot of information about our cause and Connecticut Children's. So, these opportunities allowed for them to engage in patient stories and learn more about what Connecticut Children's does, And we did this through tabling events, social media posts, as well as engagement at like our various events throughout the year. And by having these, this allowed participants to really learn more about QThon and stay involved and stay engaged, allowing the team captains to better succeed and better motivate their team, contributing to our growth this past year.
So now going into our Miracle Point system. So our Miracle Points are tracked using a spreadsheet. So on the spreadsheet, we have every single organization and then the date of every event that orgs can earn Miracle Points. Miracle Points are given to organizations for attendance and participation in different events, as well as fundraising and winning competitions, such as the competitions that they've created teams to play a role in. The organizations with the most Miracle Points are given the opportunity to sponsor a Miracle Child on day of. So in the photo, you can see the Miracle Child Jordan in the middle, and she's sponsored by Theta, an org that raised enough money and enough Miracle Points to sponsor a Miracle Child. So, having this Miracle Point system is really important because it motivates the orgs to get more involved and come to our events, which helps to translate into them fully understanding what QThon is. And this is because by coming to the events that might not seem like they're super related to QThon or Connecticut Children's, they're able to see that cause connection, little bits and pieces that we have throughout the events that really bring you back to the meaning and why you're working so hard for this. So, for example, at our Minutes for Miracles event in the spring, this was the day of our biggest fundraising push day, and we had a minute of silence to just kind of reflect on how many children were in the hospital at that given moment and think about what we're doing and how lucky we are and how important it is that we fundraise. On our Child Health Day event in the fall, we had our campaign announcement, so that's what kind of tied back to Qthon at that event. And then at our volleyball Ignite Your Flame tournament in February, we had a Miracle Child give a speech about how important the funds we donate are and just kind of her story. And she is a student at our university who used to be a part of Dance Marathon when she was a child and now is on our management team. So it was a really cool connection to be able to show that to our students and how so many people don't really know that about her. And so this could be the same for any other person that you may be friends with or that you may know. And so it was a really important connection that tied back to QThon in our mission. Then we have Battle of the Orgs, which is a 2-week competition where teams can earn the most miracle points throughout the year. So this leads up to our biggest push day, Day of Miracles, that we was just talking about before. And through this 2 weeks, we have different challenges such as our virtual and in-person events. We have like Wordles online, we had word unscrambles, as well as in-person events like checking in at our table, visiting our pop-up shops, fundraising, coming to our headquarters room on Day of Miracles, and all of those gave students the opportunity to earn miracle points for their teams. This helps to empower teams and it just creates more excitement going into those big days. And the competition we've noticed is really, really helpful to teams being super involved in wanting to gain those miracle points because the competition is really exciting.
So, one other contributing factor that we really tried to emphasize was clear communication this year. So, as Sarah mentioned earlier, we have our campus relations chairs who are the direct contact with team captains. So, they maintain communication through GroupMe typically. And this was really helpful for them as like throughout Reg Week, they were able to text them like directly with the percent of their team that's registered and how to better go about engaging more participants. They also were able through GroupMe, they were able to send a lot of different information and just helpful resources for them. They also held a lot of meetings before major events and push days to make sure that everybody kind of knew what was going on, what was to be expected of them during these push days, and then they were able to provide them resources that directly reflected these push days, and they were able to forward to their teams to help them as well. So by kind of streamlining this communication process, it really helped the team captains to know directly what was going on so then they could better provide that information to their participants on their team. And then they had an active group chat for the team captains where all the team captains could kind of text each other, ask questions. They would send reminders. And like I mentioned, they kind of had messages that they could send where they could just forward those to their participants. So then, as a result of this clear communication, we saw Day of Miracles raised over $41,000 in just 24 hours, which was a 166% increase from 2024, which was insane. And then we saw a 29% jump in average fundraising per participant, which was really incredible that we saw this year. So we credit it to our membership team and their amazing communication.
So, as we were thinking about our team captains program and everything, following the end of our Qthon 2025, we kind of came up with a few things that we think would even help our team captains team to grow even more. So, we kind of compiled a little list of things that we want to implement in 2026 that we haven't been able to test out yet, but think that it would be a great thing to add in. So, first was just flash challenges during our team captains meetings to kind of help kickstart their fundraising and show them how easy it could be. So, this just an example could be asking them to reach out to 5 different people for $10 each, and the first person to raise $50 would receive a prize. So, just kind of a little bit of a simple incentive motivation to help them kickstart their fundraising. And because everyone would have reached out to 5 people, even if they aren't the first one, hopefully that would translate to $50 or so for each team captain. We also want to do more personalized goal setting because our teams vary a lot in size. Some of our Greek organizations are a lot larger compared to some of our smaller orgs on campus. So, doing some personalized goal setting with each organization, kind of looking at what they fundraised the previous year and what a realistic goal might be, would be really helpful and could also be more motivating to each org. We also want to put in place that each team captain has to reach their minimum to receive their t-shirt on day of. So you could see in the photo, those are the t-shirts that our team captains wore this year, but we didn't have a specific rule that if they didn't reach their minimum, they wouldn't receive the t-shirt. So we struggled a little bit with getting everyone to reach their goal, but we thought that this year would be a really great incentive to enforce that for not only our team captains, but the rest of our internal team as well.
So then we just wanted to share a quote from Jake. So Jake has been a team captain for the past 2 years, and this year he's actually joined our management team from his experience. So he said, "When I was a freshman, I never thought I would be so impacted and inspired by a cause as great as dance marathon. To be a team captain for the last 3 years. Sorry, it was 3 years. In that experience, I have learned what it takes to be a true leader, skills that will benefit me greatly in my future career as a PA, as well as how to encourage people to be the best versions of themselves. Now, as a senior, I'm so grateful to have the opportunity to be a part of the management team for Quinnipiac University's dance marathon. And in this role, I will continue contributing to this wonderful organization while encouraging students to be as inspired as I have been throughout my time as team captain." So it really just shows how impactful the roles of a team captain can be and how integral of a part they are on day of and how much they truly take away from this experience as well.
So thank you so much. That is it for our presentation. Our contact information is here on the slides. If you have any other follow-up questions, we'd be happy to answer you. So please feel free to reach out. But that is all. Thank you.